Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Sons and Daughters of Liberty. For those that don't know, I'm Drew, also known to some by Smiley. And today's going to be a late afternoon coffee and chat. Obviously, we pretty much wouldn't guarantee what the discussion topics are. Hello, Free Spirit Press. Obviously, we know what the topics are going to be. As most of you know, last week I had my dealings with Twitter, and also had my dealings with Periscope. But I've been waiting for something on Periscope other than what happened to me. I've been waiting to catch the post where it is restricted for certain locations. It may be restricted in the location you're trying to watch it at. Finally caught it today. The first time I caught it was actually on a Joe Biggs Periscope a couple weeks ago. This was something that was the video was taking place in Britain, my understanding of it. So I got to looking around in the analytics and stuff, playing around on other platforms. I'm also going to show you a new platform that I am on that was recommended to me, just so I can show you some analytics of actual numbers and counts and clicks. And I'm also going to show you a couple of the other platforms. I'm going to show you that, you hear me talk about the mines, but not even the mines are that we think it's free speech platform, but I'm going to show you that it might not exactly be what we all think it is. And I also want to discuss ways how we can address this the right way. There's a right way and a wrong way to doing things. Right now, I don't think sounding off, yelling, screaming, cussing is the right way, because we're going to be defeating the purpose of addressing the issue. And it's going to get heated. I know it is, because we're talking about stupid policy changes. We're talking about just outright censorship. If you say this, you're going to get a community strike. Use any of these words, you may get a community strike. And it's ridiculous. Really ridiculous. And we've known cases where people have gotten strikes or lost their channels due to deleted content. And you know what I got to say about that? Really, YouTube? That's just ridiculous. They try to adhere to your guidelines by removing the content, and you want to go back and give them strikes. But most people think when you delete the video, it's gone. Or when they lose their channel, all that information is gone. No, it's actually clearly in their TOS. And you guys can go back and watch the United We Stand series. I think it was the second or third video where I broke down their TOS and community guidelines. There is nothing ever deleted. Everything is archived in case of a federal court case or an investigation that may come up, that the police or investigators can come in and ask for those archives. So it's kept for evidence, which some people could argue the legality of them catching strikes for a video they deleted if they weren't being investigated by an outside agency, such as the police department, feds, whatever. And I'm not a lawyer there. That might be something you might want to ask a lawyer. But not that it matters, because terms of service and community guidelines are subject to change without notice. It's on anything, every TOS you go to. And most of the TOSs are written, so they're always up for interpretation, how one chooses to interpret it. You know, just like I said, we caught one of the Twitter apps last week that was labeling people's accounts for having suspicious activities. And there was another one, Deplorable Latinos had found. I think it was Purple POV. Anybody that follows her on Twitter, she had discovered it because it happened to her. It was another Twitter app that was labeling people as bots. So, and then of course anybody that caught my video from like 2 o'clock in the morning, or whatever time it was in the morning, about the gun policy changes, just so happened it popped up. And I think I'll be able to share screens and show you how to see that. I'll just have to switch accounts. And I'll show you the back end of that as well. Because that policy is also subject to change before April. So they can make changes to it, do as they wish. And it's going to affect a lot of channels. Because it is written, once more, up for interpretation. I might interpret it one way, but YouTube may interpret it another way. It's something that I neglected to say last night because I didn't think about it. What is that policy strictly for YouTube? So we have to remember YouTube is a parent company of Google, and they share the same community guidelines and some of the policies. That's interesting. All my viewers disappeared. So is that going to be a policy that Google also uses? Something to further research for those that like researching things like that. I know I'm going to put a little time in researching it because, hey, they do share their community guidelines. And much of the policies and TOSs are the same. Because this could have a bigger impact than what we even realize at this point. And that's a problem. Because, in a sense, it is a form of censorship. You know? And we have to address it on the censorship level as well as a Second Amendment level. Just like there was an article report on the Drudge last night. After I'd done the video, it came up on my phone. I guess there was some kind of shooting or something that happened. There was an investigation, we'll just say that happened somewhere in Raleigh, North Carolina. Not somewhere. But in Raleigh, North Carolina, well, the police, the investigators, contacted Google, and they wanted data from everyone's phone that was in that vicinity. But just not that vicinity. We're talking about a 17-mile radius vicinity of the crime scene. Now let's talk about a violation of the Fourth Amendment there. Now, will Google hand it over? Don't know. I'm sure Google is going to address that with their legal teams. But that's what happens when we don't talk about these things. We don't address these things. And many people do address these things. That's the point. It's the ones that are addressing these things are the ones that seems to be always being targeted. Not the content out there that should be targeted, and we all know there's plenty of it. I mean, for real, what we got going on these social platforms is a form of thought police. See, if your thoughts, opinions, and views go against what theirs is, oh, we're going to lock you up. Oh, classic case. Anybody hip to the guy in the UK with his dog? Just a practical joke? Yeah, he's been charged for it. Judge found him guilty for a joke with an animal. Granted, that's the UK, but when you start allowing those things to happen, censoring comedy, music, free speech, free opinions, and views, you become more of a thought police, dictating that only this line of ideology, this line of thought, this line of opinions, this line of views is the only ones that can be expressed. That's what we're dealing with here. Now, we have some tragic events that have happened. But guess what? There's all kinds of other tragic events that happen all the time. I mean, what's next? Knives? Cars? Driverless cars? I mean, there's got to be a point where we stop. But let me show you a few things. If you guys say anything in chat, I'm not going to be able to see it for a little bit until I come back. Let's start off here. This is the mind. I'll let you give it a second for it to actually show up and let you take this in for a second. This is pretty much, well, for the most part, we know it as a very free speech platform. Very open platform. Still in beta, but it's been an awesome platform thus far. I personally have not had no issues, as you can see. But there is a chance for your content to be reported, rejected, even rejected, or approved. You have a chance to appeal. See where this is going? This will happen on every social platform out there. Why? Because they have advertisers paying them. They're getting hellacious backlash from the government, trying to force them to censor their content on there. And my question to Congress, what do you guys have to hide that you don't want people talking about or digging and vocalizing? Because obviously some of you guys must really have something to hide if you're in fear of a social media platform. In fact, let me rephrase that. You're actually violating the very oath you took to be a congressman and should be removed because you're violating the Constitution that you're supposed to uphold and protect. Maybe it's time we start forcing you to adhere to those oaths and laws. Because, you know, this has been up for since the beginning of the year that when I first noticed this on the mind. I've not had none of my content bothered with. But as you can see, 2,270 views. The one I did last night, 374 views. This is me, the Perspectives video that she did, Target Tag Track. Got 523 views. One thousand 1,065 views, 1,041 views, 533 views. But yet, over here, mean, sometimes proof's in the pudding, I guess. What did I say, 300 and something on that one? 25. The one with 2,000 views was what? Oh yeah, take the red pill. Ha! 5 views. Let's go one step farther. I don't know how many people of you guys have actually checked out the YouTube analytics here, the new studio beta version. I actually found out something today that I didn't know about. Just skip down to here. You know, real-time views, subscribers. Showing 24. Top videos and watch time minutes. Okay, that's good. Let's go to Discovery. This tells me where my stuff's picking up most of the views. Twitter, unknown or infrequent, 26. Facebook, wow. YouTube, 2.7%. Bing.com, wow. But here's what I didn't know. You can actually click on these things. And it gives me a list of other places. Patreon, nothing. My WordPress, which I know is bullshit, nothing. YouTube, Facebook. Oh, wait, there's a difference. Earlier, it actually had the mines on here. Not showing it now. No, wait, maybe it's audience. Hey, but United States, 99.4%, United Kingdom, 3%, Canada, 1%. Wait, we can go bigger. Yeah, they kind of cut this back too. Earlier, it had given me a whole list. I mean, I was even seeing Brazil. Oh, wait, I know how to do that. Come over here, hit lifetime. Oh, let's try this. United States, I mean, granted, this is all watch time in minutes. Denmark, UK, Canada, Colombia, Philippines, Morocco, India, Australia, and we can pretty much all guess the rest of these, like this right here. I know my content's not allowed there because I have family that tried to tune in and watch my show, some of my stuff in Brazil, and they can't. Censorship much. But, you know, it's just more stuff that you can look at and see. Let me go back to Discover now. You see, now that I'm doing Lifetime, it shows a whole lot of different other things. Google search, Gab, Mines. How is the Mines only 1 watch time and 2%? That's why I don't pay attention to these numbers. I don't let them influence my work because I know better. In fact, I'm about to really show you I know better. This is the analytics, and I've only been on this site for 3 days. And I synced all my accounts, Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube. 2 YouTube channels to here. But there's some other stuff on here. But let me show you. These are impressions. These are clicks. That's already got 10 clicks just from this site. Not showing. 204 impressions. Portable sawmill, 161, 4. And we can just keep on going. Look at these numbers. 1 click, 1 comment. But it's not showing up on YouTube. Imagine that. Look at this. So I know my stuff's being seen. this just shows you that, how they're trying to disrupt what we see and think. Now, I won't be able to get the statistics for some of this until tomorrow because some of it just got uploaded today. But as you guys can see the huge difference in statistics on some of these sites. This is how they're, discouraging people. Making them think that their content's not being seen or shown. Just like I had issues with Periscope the other day. Sure that's not showing. And what happened in my Periscope, I was doing a live stream. And everybody that was in the chat that I was trying to interact with, they all got kicked out of my chat room and couldn't re-enter. They've been playing with the audio, so people try to listen to it, they can't hear. I'm using the same mic that I use to do all these live streams here. But yet some other people, you go watch their content, and they don't have no audio issues at all. Then there's reports of people being reported by bots and getting their Periscope channels deleted. This broadcast is not available in your location. This was a Periscope stream that somebody had shared. The first time, like I said, the first time I caught this was on Joe Biggs's podcast he did a couple weeks ago from Periscope. And I was like, what the hell? And those might say, well, no, that's not it. Well, you guys all know there's only one site that puts up this. Video not displayed. This video has been removed in response to report for the copyright holder. Right. But as soon as it goes to that, it goes to this. And the video is still up to that. I actually went to Periscope and looked it up. I just can't view it. It's showing in this person's stream, so it hasn't been removed. It's just because of where I live, I can't view it. I mean, it's ridiculous. That's how ridiculous they've gotten with this. They're basically saying if you got any other opinion that goes against the status quo, you will be targeted and singled out. So what can we do about this? Honestly, it starts with us putting our differences aside, standing up for each other no matter who they are, what they believe. Because it's just not happening to conservatives or Trump supporters. It's happening to everyone. It's not just happening to one religious belief system. It's happening to others as well. And There's our common ground. When our constitutional rights, our freedoms, our rights and liberties are being violated, there's that common ground that we should be coming together as one and defending that, speaking out. And it only takes a few people to show that they can do it, to show others. It goes back to what I said, typed in Twitter last night about trying to live your life as an example. I've got friends that have very different religious beliefs from all walks of life and all religious backgrounds. They're friends. We get along just fine. We talk about everyday things. We talk about political things. And sometimes we even talk about our religious views and beliefs. And we still respect each other. We might not agree on some things, but it's not going to cost us our friendship. I've always had that open mind mentality like that. Because in the end, none of us are going to know who's right or wrong until the day we die. That's just really the irony of it. Doesn't mean we have to always be squibbling and fighting over this. That's part of that program, and that's how they keep us always divided. When issues like this comes up, we can never truly unite as one and start tackling these issues and let our voice be heard as a united front, because they see us bickering. They know how to manipulate that and use it to keep us arguing amongst ourselves or cause a division within our group to separate us. So therefore we're divided. We're not unified. When it comes to these matters of the Constitution, the Bill of Rights, our freedoms, there should be nothing that divides us. It should be the one rallying cry that pulls us all together, united. Yes, I know some people don't like guns. I respect that. But the same token, respect the fact that I have the right to have guns, to protect my house, and protect my neighbor who chooses not to have. That one day my neighbor might thank me. Because I live out in a rural area. I live out in the country. The sheriff's response time could be 15 minutes to a half hour, depending where they're at. And there's issues there. They've cut fundings to our sheriff's department to where, truthfully, there's only 4 sheriffs on call during the day. So if they're at a call, you might be screwed. You might be lucky to have a neighbor that is pro-gun, that has guns, that knows how to shoot. See, there's rooms for things to be talked about and brought up. These very key points that I just mentioned can be used in an open forum to tell people, hey, look, there is another scenario that could happen. And it makes people question and think. Then the fact is, we should be responsible. Most of us are all adults. I have a few people under 18 that follow me, a couple, which is a beautiful thing. Because I know some of us, we've talked about it. How do we reach the youth? Well, the youth finds us. And we might not even know it. I never knew it for about a year until a person one day decided to chat and let it slip. Which, of course, made me try to keep all the swear words out of my streams. At least, the F-bombs. You know, is that censorship? Some may say yes. I say it's just respect. Me being respectful and not using colorful language around minors. Not that they don't know it already. I mean, I knew every name in the book by the time I was 10, so in 2 languages. Funny, the first words I learned in Portuguese were the swear words, so go figure that out. I mean, but that also brings us, there's a right way to do it. Some people, I mean, I got mad yesterday. I was mad. When it wasn't about the gun thing, I was mad about something totally different. I really wanted to come on here and give a piece of my mind. And it took a lot of restraint on my part not to. In fact, it took a Periscope video to keep me off here, and so I didn't do this. Then right after I got off the Periscope, I was talking with Free Spirit, and I see in my thing, let me see if I can't pull that up. And hopefully not get kicked out of here when I do this. Okay, looks like I can. Let me share screen. See if it shows up. So you guys can actually see where this policy thing pops up at. I haven't been on here in forever. Right here, this is a widget, guys. Some of you might not have. I think this the what's new and tips are automatically on here when you start up. If not, you can click right up here to add your widgets. So we want what's new, and it's already installed. Click there. Firearm policy update effective mid-April. We're updating the policies on the videos featuring firearms. Just click read more, and when you guys click on this, it will disappear from what's new. That's why I can't show you on Sons and Daughters of Liberty, but you just click it and it takes you to it. Let's go back here real quick. For this, Be Rich did a video talking about this. I will link the video in the description, or once I get done here, I'll go back to chat and grab it and put it in chat as well. But let me switch back here. Just in case. But, you know, I know I've already did a video on this, but like I said, that's the link. Go right here, policies on content featuring firearms. Guys, really recommend staying on top of this because this is subject to change by mid-April. They might add to it, they might remove some stuff. So it's on you guys now to stay on top of this. I'm going to stay on top of it. If they make any changes, I will let you know. YouTube prohibited certain kinds of content featuring firearms. Specifically, we don't allow content that, intends to sell firearms or certain firearms accessories through direct sales, e.g. private sales by individuals or links to sites that sell the items. These accessories include, but may not be limited to, accessories that enable a firearm to simulate automatic fire or convert a firearm to automatic fire. Bump stocks, Gatling triggers, drop-in auto sears, conversion kits, and high-capacity magazines. Magazines or belt-fed carry more than 50 rounds. Provides instructions on manufacturing a firearm, ammunition, high-capacity magazine, homemade silencer suppressors, or certain firearms accessories such as those listed above. This also includes instruction on how to convert a firearm to automatic or simulated automatic firing capabilities. Shows users how to install above-mentioned accessories or modifications. Left up for interpretation. Oh, let me show you how to put a rail on your gun. That could be a modification and an accessory. It depends how they want to use this. Just like I know people that endorse certain gun shops, endorse gunsmithing courses and classes. It's, they say link, but how far are they going to take it? It is important that you stay on top of this. Very important. Now, let me go grab that link for you guys. He covered the analytics thing as well in his podcast. That's the other thing, guys. And I know some people don't always agree with other channels and what they're saying, don't like them because some of the stuff they do. The fact is these channels are also under attack. Whether you like them, agree with them, disagree with them, they're just like you. They're having the same issues you're having. And that should be common ground to reach out to them. It's not about they're on YouTube. All they do is promote this or say, they have the right to their opinion. They have a right to their view. You actually have the right not to watch them. But when they do put out good content, important content with information like how the analytics are being used or gun control, new policies, you should support them on that. Don't not watch it because, oh, he's a whatever. Because then you're missing something very important. Most of my older viewers understand that. I've explained that to them. Yeah, I agree on some aspects of what they say, but sometimes they put out very important stuff. And if you have that mindset, you're going to miss something very important that could have an effect on you or your channel or your life. And you missed it because you just didn't listen to yourself when you see it, or you didn't listen to somebody that recommended you to go watch it who wouldn't normally recommend it. As far as Be Rich goes, if it wasn't for him, I learned a lot of stuff just by watching his streams and podcasts, how to do it. I give credit where credit's due. If it wasn't for a lot of things he did, so I have the utmost respect for him. Just like I have the utmost respect for the things Dabu and Casey do, and various other ones, Rufacast. I could sit here and name names until I'm blue in the face because I follow so many different people. And yes, there's some that I've stopped following because, I got the message that was needed, and it was just becoming more too negative, in my opinion, for what I needed at the time. See, that's me making a choice. But if I ever heard that one of those people were having the issues, and then we know who the real ones are, and we know who aren't. You just know. Do I put out the best quality content compared to all these other ones? No. I don't. I don't spend the hours editing. I prefer to just do the live streams, be raw, uncensored, and uncut. You get what you see, which most of the time you're not going to see in my face. Except for on issues that I think is important, that we need to address. I think sometimes you need to come out from behind the images that you put up and show your face. Let people see the real you, your expressions, your mannerisms. Yes, I'm pretty good at controlling my mind, especially my emotions. But sometimes I let my emotions run on topics. There's a time and place for things. Right now, the time, I believe, and I might be wrong. These other guys might have the right approach. But my personal opinion, right now, the time and place is to be calm, speak calmly, with a calm voice, control that emotion. Let it guide you. Nothing wrong with that, but keep it controlled so your message is coming out and it's not being taken out of context, or it's not being taken like you're attacking. We want change. We want things fixed. I hate this new chat feature. You think as the channel creator and the moderator, it'd stay on live chat, but it don't. Something you could fix, YouTube. I mean, like I said, I'm thankful for having the live chat that now stays up, so people can see the interactions with the chat as well, because there's a lot to be learned in your chat rooms. And this actually benefits the bigger channels who can't always follow their chat because it's going a mile a minute because they have so many people. And now they can sit back, watch it, and go back and see what was being said in their chat. So it's an awesome feature. Something some of us really wanted. And it's also, some people don't like it when I point out those things or point out all the good things on here. Well, you should. Because that's the stuff that originally drew us here. That's why we love this platform. The stuff that we can do on it. The stuff that we can find on it. And it's important that we tell them this. Because this is some of the stuff that they're going to lose if they keep going down the roads they're going. Like I said, there is a right way to address things. And it just takes more than one voice. It takes everyone coming together, addressing it. Reaching out to others. I haven't had a chance to do that today. Didn't realize that I had to do some things this morning and this afternoon before I could go live, so it kind of stemming me in. Somebody went live that I follow, I wanted to watch. Because, I try to watch the people that I follow when they go live or post stuff. When I started doing the United We Stand series, yes, I agree. We are free, you're actually correct, and welcome. I've heard people also talk about the discouraging part of it looks like their stuff's not getting viewed or showed. And I've just sat here and showed you that it is. That is sometimes the beauty of being on more than one platform. And I definitely want to thank me the people's perspective, for introducing me to that site. I mean, I'm not, because with that analytics thing, it gave me what I was looking for as evidence that I could show you guys, which is very important. Sometimes a lot of people have to see it in order to believe it. Well, this shows you that your content is actually being out there. I mean, I've only got 32 channels, and I mean, you guys seeing that, and that was like 3 pages in, to where it was pretty much all sons and daughters stuff. and you were looking at close to 5,000 impressions and around 500 clicks. I probably should title these Late Afternoon Coffee Chat Smoke. But, we all have our own opinions on things. And that's the other thing. When we start coming together and talking about these things, we got to respect each other's opinions and views. We can't let that cause division and strife within a movement. We can't allow these discussions to get heated. And we do have to be respectful as much as we don't want to, because we're, in many ways it feels like we're being the ones disrespected. In many ways, I agree, we are being very disrespected when they come after our rights, freedoms, and liberties, among other things. But, there's a time and place for everything. If we want our voices to really be heard, it has to be heard in a way that other people's going to see. It's like they're being calm, they're being respectful, they're being peaceful about it, they're expressing the things that are very wrong that's happening to you. Like I know, I think, like I said last night, maybe I was going about it the wrong way. Maybe what we need is to create a channel that is a neutral channel. That way we don't have to worry about numbers, where we don't have to worry about, big channels losing their followers to smaller channels, because that, it can be an ego thing. I mean, I personally don't care about numbers, but some do. Some's worked real hard to get the numbers that they've got. You got to respect that hard work. And I think some people do have that mindset. I don't think a small fraction, maybe probably about 1-2%. But there are some that have that. But then when you do that, okay, how's all these people going to see what we're putting out there? See, there's a good point. Like I said, sometimes you got to play devil's advocate. You got to weigh out all the pros and cons and hear everybody out just to find the best solution. And that solution will present itself within the form of sharing the ideas and views and opinions. Eventually, you're going to get to a point where, yeah, I agree with that. Let's write that down. I agree with that too. Half of us agree with that, half of us don't. Let's just put that in a half category. I mean, go ahead. Write it up as pros and cons. So you get the perfect thing, because we're never ever going to always agree on something. It's just life. But we can't keep letting them play us against each other. That's been their number one tool for so long. I've watched this community, and when I say community, I mean the whole. Because this community is broken down into niches and genres, and it's too many to list. But out of those niches and genres, almost everyone's been affected some way on all these platforms with the censorship. I mean, Facebook's the worst. Never thought I'd say that. But it is the worst right now. Twitter's bad. YouTube, it just depends who you are. and how many feathers you're ruffling. You're right. I know a lot of small channels that have some great content. I know several big channels that have some awesome content. And you got the in-between. I'm one of those. I don't even classify channels in between. I don't have that eye-catching content, I just have my views and opinions, and I talk about whatever. I kind of got away from things I want to do. Once it warms up, you'll start seeing more do-it-yourself, more outdoor stuff, more of the lines of prepping stuff. But you're still going to get this, because this is very much who I am, expressing my views and opinions. But plus I work with what I have. What I have is a Bluetooth. No fancy equipment. Yeah, I have a couple fancy programs. Usually when I do recordings and uploads, I do it from Camtasia, which is more like a studio, which is awesome. Yeah, I have Photoshop. I have XSplit, but I don't have the internet connection to run XSplit properly, so, I just use what I have. I use the tools out there at my disposal. Every social media platform is a tool. It is a place where you can put your message. It is a place where others will come by and share on platforms that most of you probably don't know about. There's platforms out there. I can't. It was Ning, Glam. I don't know what it is anymore. It's still kind of labeled as Ning. That platform still exists. Spurts exist. These are social platforms where you can create your own websites, social websites that have, and some of these websites have 10, 20,000 people on them. It's just like I said, most people are so used to Facebook, Twitter. They're used to the main brand marketing ones. But I also know the stuff you're seeing now happen, all that was all beta tested on these smaller platforms. Oh yeah, we went through censor stuff on Ning, control of content, what you could post. Same thing on Spurts. We went through the same thing. There is no perfect platform. I mean, for me, yeah, I've been slowly integrating my stuff over to Patreon, but it don't matter. Why? If I catch a strike or lose my channel here, guess what? Everything that I transferred here, everything that's on my WordPress will be gone. So, I mean, there's improvements for Patreon, but I haven't forgotten what Patreon did last year. They kicked about 7 people that I know of off the platform. No, some of them were for political stances that they took, or for being activists, or taking an activist stance on some things. And others, they were just Joe Schmo that likes to hunt. We see it happen on PayPal. If you got a stance, you can lose your PayPal account. I mean, there is no perfect platform, but they're there. They're tools. Use them. Use them all. When you find one, share it. I can't go to Steam it because I don't have a cell phone. I'd have a cell phone. It's deactivated. And I'm not that interested in Steam it for other reasons. So it's not a tool that I utilize. Maybe I should, but I also go off feelings, and there's a couple places I've looked into that something inside me told me no, leave it be. I've learned to listen to that. It hasn't steered me wrong any time in life. The only time I get steered wrong is when I don't listen to it. Doesn't mean that those places aren't for you guys. Utilize them. If you feel the need to, do it. See, that's where it goes back to, these are my opinions and views. I'm basing them off my experiences. And there's some risk there, because right now there is really no platform out there that lets us do what we can do here on YouTube. I mean, Patreon has, you can live stream there through YouTube, or through, I can't remember what the other one is. Let me go look. But the payment plan is ridiculous. I do mean ridiculous. The basic starts like $48, I believe. Yeah, Crowdcast is what they use. Here, let me just share screens and show you. But you can live stream from YouTube for free. Don't have to worry about it. Everything you get on YouTube, you'll bring it right over here. But as far as Crowdcast goes, wow. Expensive. Actually, no. Don't do that. Learn more. Where was that? Yeah, how much money does it cost? For your first month, you can get it free. After that, it's over. Now, I actually had clicked on something where it showed me exactly how much it cost. Maybe it was through that link. Maybe click this. Pricey. There we go. I gotta reshare my screen now. So, yeah, you can get the gist of it. I mean, I've know people that run this program. They say it's awesome, but it's, want to pay, you're going to have to play. I mean, you want to play, you're going to have to pay, and because, I mean, you're allowed 100 live attendees. Anything extra live attendees will cost you 50 cents. But, I mean, they have some cool features for those that want to do that. I mean, I guess showing stuff like this kind of helps you understand what we really have here. I mean, even Gab's getting ready to launch live streaming for everybody, but it's under the premium package. You're gonna have to pay to use it. I mean, $5.99 ain't bad for those that actually can afford to spare $5.99. I'm not working right now, so I can't afford $5.99. And I have an opinion on that anyway. That's just another way to control content. It's a form of censorship. They might not say it that. There's people who sit here and will argue with me. No, that's not that. But it is, in my opinions and views, because they are wanting people to pay to have their voice. So, I mean, that's everybody else. That's up to you to make your own minds on. Who knows? You know, I just like Twitter after my little escapade of pointing things out. You know how bad they screwed with me? I'm just now finally where my feeds are normal. It was to the point where if you guys tweeted anything in the last couple of days and I didn't retweet it or comment, probably because I didn't see it because they were showing me everything that was 5-6 hours old. Yeah, I've never been a fan of pay to play. Not one bit. That's, that was one of Facebook's biggest gimmicks. If you wanted to get something viral, you had to pay to play. You wanted more people to see your post, that you had to pay to play. And it's like that even in groups and pages. You want to get more views and audience outside of the people that's in your friends list, you have to pay to play and boost its content. That was one of the things I actually liked about the mines, and sadly that's going away because they're going to go more cryptocurrency type stuff with it, was the ability to boost your content. You get points for almost everything you do on there. And you can take those points and boost your content or boost your page. I love that little feature there. But sadly, they want to get more in the cryptocurrency market. But so does Gab. They made an announcement too. And it will become, we'll lose that ability to boost our content like we do, which sucks. The other thing, you can monetize on the mines, but I don't have a bank account. I do not no dealings with banks. I got my own safe that I put my money in when I'm working. I don't trust a bank for nothing. Plus, if I can't pay for it in cash, I don't need it. So that's the other thing. Pay to play don't work because you're losing some good quality content. People that put out great content that do it because they love to do it. I know I'm not everyone's cup of tea. I know at some point I'll probably make you mad. But that does happen when you're stating your opinions and views. When you make somebody question something. Yeah. That usually don't go over too well. At first, it might take a couple weeks. Then after they think about it, and some people, it might take most of their lifetime before they get over it. It happens. And that's, goes back to what I was saying, how do we address these things? Well, those right there, that's what we actually got to not allow happen. We can't let our opinions and views offend each other to the point somebody walks away or a group of people walks away. Because then we're not making no headway. We're just doing what they do to us every day, further divide us, instead of drawing us together. So we have to approach it with respect for each and other. Respect that we are all being targeted in some way, some form. We're all being forced to adhere by thought police. And that's what all this is. It's thought police. Because anything you do on the internet is intellectual property. It's your thoughts being projected into the net. Your views, your opinions, your thoughts, your perspectives. And they want to control that now. And that, my friend, is very much like what dictators do. People that, and it's also much like people that have things to hide do. You know, so we do have to learn that we might not like that person, but hey, we're next. And we won't be laughing later when it happens to us. So why not be good brothers and sisters and stand up for that person? Because later down the road, it's going to be you in the same situation. That's the message we have to remind ourselves of. That might not have happened to us yet, but we're next. Once they get done with those guys, they're coming after us. You know, you give an inch, they'll take a mile. That's not a lie, guys. You know? And the thing is, guys, use the comments. Throw your thoughts and suggestions. Start being vocal on what you think we could do to address these issues. I know later I am going to be working on a neutral channel. And that includes a neutral email address. That way we might be able to utilize it. And that way it's neutral. It's not anybody's channel, it's everybody's channel. You know, for anybody that watches this that's really interested and want to take part and help, let me know. Let's find a way to really reach out and do something great. Let's do something that's standing up for everybody else. That's what I want to see. I don't care if it's you come to me or you do it yourself, you take the idea and use it. Go for it. You know, because we need more of that. And I do see people doing it. I see people talking about it, and I respect what they're doing, and I applaud them. You know, but we also have to take it that one step farther and connect with others that we wouldn't normally connect with. You know, I'm going to slowly, like I said, probably made a mistake saying what I said last night. But this week I'm going to work reaching out to some people. And I know the rest of the week I don't have no plans. Because there's a lot of things that we could be addressing and talking about, all of us. And we can be coming up with ideas that maybe they'll listen to us on. There's nothing wrong with a little optimism. Nothing wrong with having hope in something. Then at least you can say, you tried. You made the effort. Then, you know, that was plan A. We go to plan B. Like I said, there's a time and place for everything. The first part of it is doing what I'm doing now, doing what others are doing now. So, as I reach out to a few people this week, it will, we'll discuss. They get back with me. Some people don't get back with me on certain things, but that shows me what those people are about. And some people just don't have the time to get back with you because they're caught up with everyday life crap. And I understand that. So I'm going to reach out to a few people that I know, which something must be understood is probably not as many people as you think. Yes, I follow a lot of people, but I only talk to a certain few. And some of that's just in their chat rooms and comments. But it goes back to what I have always been taught and firmly believe in. If you don't ask, how do you know? Like I said, the only wrong question is the question that isn't asked. So if you don't ask and reach out, how will you ever know? Well, tobacco pipe's done. Coffee's just about done, so I think we're going to wrap this up. Some things to think about, guys. Because we see it. Those of us are on many other platforms. We see what's happening. Many of us have had it happen to us. I've been lucky thus far on YouTube. It hasn't happened to me, but it can at any time. But I've had it happen to me on Twitter. I definitely had it happen to me on Facebook. I haven't had it happen to me on the mines, but I did show you that it's possible even on the mines. Then found out about Periscope the hard way. Not once, but 3 times already. Once they just kicked everybody out of the chat room. Twice they've played with my audio, so when you go to listen to it, nobody can hear it unless you put it into a stereo system and turn it all the way up. Which is funny because I sit here and go back. As soon as I go live, I go to the Periscope on Twitter, the feed on the Twitter, and unmute it and listen, and my voice is coming in just fine. Then I go right from there to the actual Periscope so I can watch my comments and interact with the comments, as you guys know I love to do. And unmute it, can hear it just fine, so, hit the mute button and go, and don't notice it until somebody tells me. And it's like, what the hell? Then, I know about 3 or 4 streamers that stream on Periscope. They just had trolls come in and report their channel, get reported 3 times, and you lose your Periscope channel. I mean, really? And it's only happening to people that talk about certain things. The ones that are voicing their opinions, questioning things that are going on. And these guys, many of them are from all walks of life and have very different views on things. Some views you wouldn't think would get knocked, but hey, it happened. I mean, it's like I've been saying, where's that line we draw? And it's like, that's it. You guys got to find that line. When's enough is enough. And hopefully that line is well before they completely take anything and everything away from us. Because we've seen the abuses that have happened on all these platforms. It's just not right. And there is nobody in Congress speaking out about it. In fact, we got more people in Congress trying to get more of these social platforms to adhere and to do the things they're doing. And that is a violation of the oaths they're taking to protect our constitutional rights of freedom of speech and expression. And that also needs to be addressed, very clearly addressed. And that is something I will be addressing here soon. Because they're just as much as the problem right now as the social media sites are. Because they're feeding them and telling them to do it. And that is a very big issue. Like I said, they find ways to distract us, pit us against each other, and find a way to where we're having to deal with multiple issues when it comes to the Constitution. If it ain't our First Amendment, it's the Second Amendment. It ain't our Second Amendment, it's the Fourth Amendment. Or it's due process. So you're focusing on one, they're hitting the other one. So you have to drop from this one to that one. No. It's the Constitution. We address it all. Second Amendment, First Amendment, Fourth Amendment, all of it. In one swoop. That way they can't sidetrack us from it. But these are things we have to discuss amongst ourselves to find out how to properly go about it. What's the right way? I mean, I have my opinions and views. Doesn't mean they're right. There might be something I didn't think of, just like I pointed out with the new policy thing. Well, does that also apply to Google? Since they do share most of the same terms of service, the same community guidelines, some of the policies. After all, YouTube is parent company of Google. Or Google's the parent company of YouTube. I said that wrong. And that means a whole other aspect. In fact, Dabu pointed this out about 3 weeks ago. I don't know if the video is still up because he's been having issues as well about this very same thing. When you type in a make of a gun, say Colt, and depending on what area you're in, it doesn't show up in the Google search. I mean, he showed it, he documented it, and that's something to pay attention to, because now we can take that video that he did about, I believe, 3 weeks ago. You know what, guys? Let me go find that video. And I'll share it in my description, in my chat and in the description, because it is important. I had completely forgotten about that up until now. And I'm not trying to make this video too long. I swear I'm not. Come on, Dabu. I know you posted something today. There we go. I guess you did post something today, or I didn't get the notification for it. Hopefully he still got it up. I just gotta remember which channel it was on. It might be on his other channel. Oh man, I hope he didn't take it down. Because it really does tie into that new policy they got. that far back? Bear with me, guys. I'll find it here in a second. If it's still up. It really wasn't that far back, I don't think. No more than 3 weeks ago. That's the other question. Are they going to go after channels that have bump stock in their description? Those are some of the unknown things. Or they got bump stocks in their meta tags. Which, for the most part, I quit using the meta tags a while ago. I know it wasn't last month. I could have swore it was this month he posted it. Scroll down just a little bit farther. I'll go check his other channel. All right, go get on his other channel. Because, I mean, it was an interesting article just by itself. But now we have, the new policies here on YouTube. And I think we just may have found a connection to what's really coming. See, and that's the part I hate. We got everybody so jumpy on the content they put out. Oh, am I going to catch a strike for this? That, we lose some good stuff that was posted because you get to that point where, oh man, I don't want to catch a strike. This is a little too iffy. And it's sad because it's important stuff. I'm hoping he didn't delete it. But if he did, I mean, yeah, apparently he did. Or not showing up because I'm looking for it, one of the two. Oh, I don't see it. I'm already going back 3 months, and it was no 3 months ago. Well, that sucks. Because it was an interesting article. Because even he sat there, share screen showed how when you type this stuff in, it wasn't showing up in a Google search. Now we come to this new policy saying, well, if you talk about this, accessories and stuff, you can start seeing the link to where it started from. And that's the important part of paying attention and being aware to things. And, when people post that stuff, it is very important to stay on top of. Because usually when that happens in one spot, because we pretty much will know most of these social platforms are somehow in some way connected. Even Twitter, I had to give up my Google browsing history just to be able to get back on Twitter when they accused me of having suspicious activity going on, which they were right. There was something suspicious going on, but it was them and an app of theirs that was causing the suspicious activity. And it was important that we shared that with other people so people know, hey, don't click on trendingtweets.com, which is affiliated with Twitter, uses a Twitter app. You have to authorize the app. Well, what they don't tell you is that it will post for you. It'll post random things. Then what they don't tell you, every time something catches your eye and you go to watch a video, you have to click authorize app. Well, guess what? Now you have 2 of those apps. In my case, I ended up with 4 of those apps. So there was 4 random posts being posted that I wasn't posting on Twitter. I mean, it started off with content that was more addressed to me. That was stuff that I would follow, would click on. Then it turned out to be just crazy stuff that I would never click on. And I couldn't for the life of me figure out what was causing it. We looked at my apps. They didn't show up. None of that stuff showed up until after my account got put on hold until I agreed to let them have access to my browsing history and email and stuff to prove that it was me. Which there should have to be no proof. I do Periscope videos. So, you know it's me. You know it's a live person running the account and not a bot. Then I see that in my apps. I'm like, oh, okay. You got me. Trick good. Won't happen again. Bet on that. I'm going to make sure nobody else makes the same mistake. But like I said, I am going to end this. I will see you guys on the next stream. I don't know when that'll be, but there'll probably be a couple of streams coming this week. And who knows, I might end up going back live later tonight if somebody wants to come on and talk about things. So that's how probably the next several streams are going to be. For those that want to come on and talk about these issues, I'm going to open it up to them and just sit back, be quiet, let them talk for a bit. So you guys can hear other people's opinions and views, their ideas of solutions. So until the next one, enjoy. You guys have a wonderful week. Be safe, and I will see you on the next one.